Hello and welcome to the channel. I hope you are all well. In the month of September, this time of the year, is a month of mixed emotions. For many in the northern hemisphere, the end of the trout season is looming at the end of September. And for those in the southern hemisphere, in Australia for the sake of argument, they've got the excitement of the season just starting. Okay, some of you at the end of the month may move on to grading fishing, and some of you will move on to stillwater fishing. Now today's tying is for the stillwater angler. This little fly is for those evenings when it's been warm all day and the hatches start coming off around the edges of the lake or whatever still water it is, and the larger fish start cruising, maybe only 5 yards or 10 yards off from the bank, and they're cruising around and sipping the midges that are just rising to the surface or on the surface for something to eat before they go to bed for the night. So this little fly is going to respond to that requirement, and I'm sure you'll find it an absolute killer in the right circumstances. It's a very, very simple tie. Okay, I'm going to use some black thread, and this is 6/0, and I'll just wind that on a couple of mil behind the eye, put on a small bed and trim off the excess. Now I'm going to use some foam, and this is open cell block foam, and I've just cut off a strip. It's about 2 mil thick. I'm just going to trim it up a little bit at the end where I'm going to tie it in, just to make it a little bit easier to tie in. And tie that in behind the eye. Now this will twist and turn, but don't worry, because we'll deal with that in due course. Loose turns to the front. And now tie it down. Right, now I'm just going to wind this down the shank of the hook, touching turns, and we're going to go just a little bit around the bend, because what we are doing is providing a chironomid for the trout to sip as they cruise around. This will be hanging just under the surface. Try and cover up this start of the foam. Right, now for the thorax we're going to use a strip of peacock herl. I'm just going to break off the point at the weakest part and tie that in. And trim out the excess. And wind on the peacock herl to create the thorax. There, that should be enough. Nice bushy thorax. Trim off the excess. Right, now a couple of turns underneath, and before I tie it off I'm going to put a little bit of glue onto the thread. Trim up the thread. Right, now I'm just going to cut this straight across, like so. And that is the fly finished. Now what I'm going to do is throw this into some water as if it had been cast, and hopefully you'll be able to see exactly what the fish see. Can you see that just hanging below the surface? And that is what encourages them to come along and sip. But it'll just hang there, and it's so inviting to those larger trout that are cruising around the margins of the Stillwater. Do give it a go, hopefully before the end of the warm weather. It needs a warm day for the hatching of the buzzers, which this represents. I hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and thanks for viewing. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.